guys, it's April. So it is the middle of October and I have read a couple of books, and so now I am going to tell you about them because that is what I do in these videos. I think that's what you've come to expect, at least, with a mid-month wrap-up. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'm in a weird mood. Things are probably gonna happen. So the first book I picked up this month was Aletheia by Tennant. I received a copy of this book for an honest review. I have a full review up over it, but I will just kind of dive a little bit into it here. Aletheia is the story about Earth being ravished by a disease that makes humanity forget who it is. There is a compound that has the cure called Iris, and Iris will give you this cure as long as you agree to their terms of service. This story mostly follows one such girl who has given up her freedom for the cure and is now one of the nameless that works for this compound. You follow her around as she starts to question some of the things she thought were truths, and this story just got me in so many different ways. It grossed me out. I love how the characters were built out, and I really enjoyed trying to figure out what was actually going on with everything, this disease, and why things were in the state they were. I am hoping to get my hands on the next book at some point in my future. It was a very captivating read, to say the least. Then I picked up Black by Ted Dekker. This is the first book in the Circle trilogy. This is the story of Thomas, who finds himself divided between two different realities. But these realities seem to interweave themselves into each other, where he will find out something important in one reality that will pertain to the other reality, and he's struggling to decide which one is real and what all of these little things mean. In one reality, he's fighting to make sure that this vaccine doesn't mutate and kill billions of people. In another reality, he's trying to figure out who he is and how he fits into the society that he has found himself in. And it is a very odd and quirky read, which is what draws me to these kind of stories. I wish there was more character depth in a lot of this. I found myself not caring at certain points and just wanting it to be over. And while I do like odd, sometimes there's odd that just feels unauthentic. I think that's what I fell into for parts of this story. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with this trilogy. I'm still undecided at this point. Then I picked up Dark Rites by Heather Graham. This is another Crew Hunters novel. I really like this series. It is my guilty pleasure because I sometimes just need those quick reads, and I love my ghosts, which is why I always pick up these books. They're not epically written, but they are a form of entertainment for me. In the story, we follow a bunch of weird crimes and murders that are happening in Boston that start to take on a sinister note. There are some satanic elements involved in these crimes when a professor of history is kidnapped. So the Crew Hunters are on a mission to find this professor, and along the way they of course are entrapped into trying to find the city of Jehovah. Like I said, these books are my guilty pleasure. I know they aren't the greatest works of literature ever, but they are one of those ones that I can just sit down and read in a day and giggle and know exactly what's going to happen before it happens, but I like them anyways. It is a thing. I don't care. Judge me for it. Finally, I picked up The Rational Optimist, How Prosperity Evolves by Matt Ridley. This is a look on how specializing and diversifying as people has helped us come to the point that we are. How today we are better off than we were 100, 1,000, several thousand years ago, and how we got to this point by each picking up our own trade and becoming extremely specialized in that, and then trading with each other and figuring out all that economics things that just keep us afloat right now. While I agree with a lot of Ridley's premises for this book, how specializing and diversifying has definitely enhanced the human experience, I struggled with the way that he presented a lot of his facts and the way he walks through history presenting this evolution, because I wanted it backed up by facts and different specialists and papers and all that kind of thing, and it felt a lot like Ridley was just making assumptions at points and pulling his own knowledge together and presenting them as facts. I don't know. There were some things that I didn't fully agree with. I get where he is coming from. I just don't know how I feel about the overall presentation of what he was saying. So those have been my reads so far this month. Yeah, it hasn't been a lot. Things are slowing down for me right now because I'm trying to figure out the rest of my life. It is a thing. It is a thing that happens. But I will be continuing to read. You will always see my face. And I have put out an announcement for the next round of Read-O-Rama. If you haven't seen that video yet, I will link it for your viewing pleasure. I hope you decide that you want to join us for this next round. And tell me down below what your favorite cat on my shelf is right now. Heart your beautiful faces. Bye.